The film opens with a quiet yet unsettling scene. A man sits across from a young girl named Veronica. Her gaze is steady, unnervingly calm for someone her age. William, the man, asks her if she knows why she's here. Veronica answers coldly. Her parents are dead. She isn't sad about it. After all, everyone dies eventually. Intrigued by her detachment, William pulls out a piece of paper with a maze printed on it. Veronica solves it within seconds. Then, he asks her to close her eyes and recall every detail of her home. Without hesitation, she describes it room by room, the colors, the layout, the exact number of steps from one room to the next. William is impressed. He tells her she's special, capable of learning things few ever could. He then reveals a disturbing truth. He got rid of his own family. But that doesn't scare Veronica. In fact, she agrees to go with him, as long as there's ice cream. 12 years later, Veronica has grown into a highly trained young woman. William has turned her into something lethal. He teaches her that in their line of work, the most important rule is, leave no trace. She runs barefoot through the woods at night to build pain tolerance. She questions why they can't just use guns, and William explains, killing cleanly is about control, not convenience. While Veronica trains in the dark, a separate story unfolds. At a roadside diner, for young men and a girl named Jennifer are hanging out. One of the boys, Jameson, has his eye on the new waitress, Gwen. His friend jokes that Jameson has a thing for blondes. As night falls, William pushes Veronica harder. He tells her strength isn't just physical, it's mental. She must learn to outwit, outrun, and overpower those bigger and stronger than her. Later, in a cafe, Veronica interacts with a man and leaves a striking impression. William praises her, but urges her to stay sharp. Meanwhile, Jameson invites Gwen to join him and the others for a night in the woods. But what she thinks is a harmless hangout quickly turns into a nightmare. The boys begin to hunt her like prey. Gwen runs for her life, but doesn't make it out. That same night, back at the cabin, Veronica lies beside her mentor. She tells William she enjoys being close to him, but also wonders aloud if what they're doing is right. As Veronica's training intensifies, William decides it's time for a final test, one that will push her beyond her limits. He shackles her and injects a special drug into her system. You're about to face your greatest fears, he warns. The hallucinations come fast. In her twisted nightmares, Veronica battles terrifying, powerful opponents. She fails, and failure is never tolerated. When she wakes up, William looks her dead in the eye and asks, "Should I punish you for failing?" Veronica, shaken, pleads with him not to make her answer. He takes her silence as a sign of readiness. The final mission is near. That evening, William drives her to a small roadside cafe, the same one frequented by Jameson and his group. William reveals the chilling truth. The boys have already been responsible for the deaths of nearly 10 girls. Now, it's their turn to be hunted. Veronica walks into the cafe alone, acting casual. She surveys the group and ends up chatting with Jennifer, Shane's girlfriend. In a quiet moment, Jennifer confesses that she doesn't like Shane's crowd. She feels like she's just along for the ride, that Shane cares more about his friend than her. Veronica listens carefully, then gently tells her, "You already know you need to walk away. You're just scared to do it." With that, she leaves the cafe and returns to the car where William is waiting. She tells him she likes the idea of breaking Jameson, of humiliating him. William agrees she's close, but not quite ready. This next mission? She'll have to carry it out alone. No, back up. A few days later, Veronica returns to the cafe, this time wearing a striking white dress. It works. Jameson is instantly drawn to her. Cocky and flirtatious, he slides into her booth, pretending to be charming. They share a drink. Then he leans in and says, "Meet me Saturday, 8 o'clock. Wear that same white dress, clean hair, red lips. I'll take you somewhere out of this world." Veronica accepts, fully aware of what's coming. This isn't just a date, it's a trap. But not for her. Saturday night arrives. Veronica prepares exactly as instructed. Meanwhile, Jameson picks up his friend Shane, dressed in a suit. He casually tells Jennifer goodbye, implying they're just going out for one of their usual nights. Another member of their twisted crew, Nelson, also gets ready, but first, he calmly eats dinner with his mother. Then, bat in hand, he climbs into the car with Jameson. What they don't know is that this night won't go like the others. The predator is about to become the prey. The group of predators is now complete. The three boys make their final stop to pick up Danny, their most unpredictable member. He's dancing wildly through the halls of his lavish mansion, shirtless, gripping an axe like it's a toy. When he spots the car outside, he gleefully rushes out to join them, buzzing with anticipation for the night's hunt. Jameson, however, keeps a secret from the others. He doesn't tell them anything about the new girl, not her name, not her look. You'll see, he smirks, she's special. Outside the diner, Veronica waits by the curb in a striking red dress. Her presence is calculated, elegant, almost cinematic. Danny is instantly taken. He jumps out, showers her with compliments, and helps her into the car. Jameson quickly warns him, easy. Don't freak her out. As they cruise down the highway, the group slips into their usual chaos. Nelson leans out the window, smashing road signs with his bat. Danny hands it to Veronica, daring her to give it a try. She plays along, giving a half-hearted swing, just enough to keep up the illusion. The boys laugh, their guard still up but slowly lowering. Inside the car, they start reminiscing, laughing about past victims, calling them challenges and games. Jameson repeats the same twisted line. Tonight, we're going to another world. Eventually, the car veers off into the forest. The boys get out first. Then Jameson takes Veronica by the hand and leads her deeper into the trees. Out of nowhere, he jumps ahead and guides her to a strange clearing, a sofa placed randomly among the trees. It's all part of the twisted ritual. Veronica sits. The boys circle around like wolves. Danny, wild as ever, suggests they play a game. Veronica agrees, but offers them a drink first. She hands around a flask, laced with a slow-acting hallucinogen. Within minutes, the boys will begin to experience their worst fears, vividly and violently. But for now, they remain unaware. Jameson suggests a game of truth or dare. Veronica goes first. What's the worst thing you've ever done? She asks. Jameson pauses. Then, in front of his crew, he opens up. When I was 10, I went hunting with my dad. I wounded a rabbit, but couldn't finish it when I looked it in the eye. He made me do it, said mercy is weakness. If you want to be strong, you have to destroy. To prove his dominance, Jameson eats a live worm from the dirt. But Veronica doesn't even flinch. He's thrown off. Most people scream, he mutters. They beg God when death gets close. Danny steps in, excited, unhinged. He asks Veronica to hit him, saying that true pleasure is born from pain. Then, as part of their game, they ask her to allow them to tie her hands behind her back. And just like that, the hunters believe they're in control. But they have no idea. The game has already started, and this time, they're the ones being hunted. Veronica leans in and calmly asks Jameson, "Tell me about Gwen." He lies without hesitation, claims he doesn't know anyone by that name. Then he grins, switching the tone completely, and explains her next challenge. She has a 5-minute head start. After that, he and his friends will begin the hunt. Run fast, Jameson says. Make it interesting. Veronica plays along. But as soon as she disappears into the trees, the mask begins to slip. Danny, too wired to wait, lets out a scream and bolts into the forest, breaking the rules. The others soon follow, splitting up to track her down. Veronica runs through the woods, heart racing. She quickly slips free from the belt, binding her hands, remembering William's words. Strength isn't in the body. It's in the mind. She stops crying, gathers herself, ties up her hair, kicks off her heels. This is no longer a performance. It's survival. Meanwhile, the drugs she slipped into their drinks begin to take hold. Danny is the first to unravel. His vision twists. Black and white bears emerge from the darkness, charging toward him. He swings wildly, unaware that it's Veronica he's facing. In a sudden move, she uses his own axe against him. He goes down confused, hallucinating, defeated. Back in the forest, Nelson and Shane notice something is wrong. Veronica's not running like the others. She's hunting. Nelson heads out to find her. But soon, he's overwhelmed by his own vision. Masked figures in a circle, chanting. Panicked, he screams for his mother. That's when Veronica strikes. She takes him down cleanly. As life slips away, Nelson imagines his mother leaning in to kiss his forehead. Jameson stumbles upon what's left of Danny, but doesn't flinch. Instead, he heads back to the clearing and finds Jennifer. She's come looking for Shane. Jameson wastes no time, turning on the charm, even now. Shane notices. Tension explodes into violence. In the chaos, Jameson reveals everything to Jennifer. The killings, the twisted hunts, their true reason for being in the forest. Then, coldly, he says it's her turn to die. Shane snaps. He defends her, lunges at Jameson. Then he turns to Jennifer, whispering, "I love you. Always." But suddenly, he starts to strangle her. Only it's not Jennifer. It's Veronica. It was all a hallucination. Realizing too late, Shane tries to fight her off. But she's faster and brutal. Another one down. Veronica escapes to a small pond. She's bloody, exhausted, barely holding on. Jameson finds her. But instead of attacking, he kneels by the water beside her. His voice is soft now, manipulative. He confesses that he's killed 21 girls in this very forest. But it doesn't have to end like this, he says. We could leave, get married, travel, take out anyone who deserves it. Veronica stares at him. No. The final fight begins. It's vicious, raw, and desperate. But Veronica wins. She overpowers him, forces the last of the psychotropic drink down his throat, and sets up the final trap. When Jameson comes to, he's standing barefoot on a small stump, a noose around his neck. He begs, pleads, negotiates. But Veronica says nothing. Suddenly, the hallucinations return. Out of the forest, the ghosts of every girl he's ever hurt begin to emerge. Faces twisted in pain, silent, staring. Among them, Gwen. She floats toward him, eyes locked on his. In pure terror, Jameson stumbles. And just like that, the predator is gone. In the final scene, William steps out of the shadows. He approaches Veronica. They don't say a word. She has passed the test. If you enjoyed watching the prey become the predator, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more intense movie breakdowns, where survival isn't guaranteed and the truth always cuts deep. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story where justice has its own rules. Until next time, stay sharp and stay safe.